Spotlight.
This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on Global Food Regulatory Summit 2025. The participants are Professor Sheetal Kapoor, expert on food safety, and Diksha Saxena, Akashvani correspondent.
The fourth and one of the largest editions of World Food India 2025 was inaugurated on 25th September in New Delhi by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The event is witnessing several activities with participation from 90 plus countries. To discuss more about India's leap in the sector and how India is positioning itself as the global food hub, I am now joined by Professor Sheetal Kapoor, an expert on food safety, food regulation and consumer affairs. Professor Kapoor, welcome to Akashvani News.
Thank you.
Government has been actively promoting the food processing sector, and the objective of World Food India is also to showcase India as a global food hub. In fact, while addressing the August gathering last night, Prime Minister also highlighted that India is a major contributor in the global food chain in case of any supply chain disruptions. So before we proceed any further in the discussion, let's first listen to what Prime Minister had to say about India's contribution to the global food chain.
आज भारत दूध का सबसे बड़ा उत्पादक है और दुनिया की 25% मिल्क सप्लाई सिर्फ भारत से होती है। हम मिलेट्स के भी सबसे बड़े प्रोड्यूसर हैं। राइस और व्हीट में हम दुनिया में दूसरे नंबर पे हैं। फ्रूट्स, वेजिटेबल्स और फिशरीज में भारत का योगदान बहुत बड़ा है। इसलिए जब जब दुनिया में फसलों पर संकट आता है, सप्लाई चेन डिसरप्ट होती है, तो भारत मजबूती से अपना दायित्व निभाने के लिए सामने आता है।
Well, Ms. Kapoor, we just heard the Prime Minister, and here I would like to quote that registered food businesses have risen to record 64 lakhs from 25 lakhs, which is a reflection of the growth which India is witnessing. Can you highlight that? What are the steps that have been taken to strengthen the position of India?
Right food is very important, and safety of the food, it is our fundamental right. So the government is playing a very active role that the food which reaches to the consumers is safe enough, as unhealthy food can make us sick and also the lot of problems can crop up. So there is a lot of opportunities which have been given by the government and initiatives taken as easy licensing, and FSSAI has emerged as one national body looking into the safety of food and also harmonization of standards. So scientific standards have now come up. Like earlier it used to be a Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, which only looked into the food adulteration part. But now we have moved from that to looking into the safety of food and also the standardization. So it is the quality of food is the prime objective now, because at the end everybody is consuming food. So the food which is reaching to our plates should be safe for consumption, and it should be also be there that we are getting a lot of information about the food, because sometimes when we are not aware that we should buy packaged or processed food and not from unorganized sector, so the food has some kind of labels which are there, and reading the proper label, and also the government has also become strict towards e-commerce sites. So whenever a food is being sold on e-commerce sites also, so they are also doing surveillance and checking that they are also looking into the safety of the items, the storage, the delivery, and everything is safe for the consumers. So from the production to the consumption of food, the whole supply chain which is there. So sometimes it may be a very long chain, from procurement to the goods which reach to the consumer, and any kind of negligence can lead to the food getting contaminated. So there should be a safety of food involves that in hygienic form the food reaches to the final consumer. And as you said, that a lot of players have now come up because of the initiatives of the government and easy licensing schemes and also capacity building for the food operators, and also encouraging them, like in major cases it is like we are now leading in milk, or we are selling vegetables or even millets. We are the world leaders. So it is because of the initiatives of the government and the Ministry of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs and Food Safety is the regulator is playing a very important role, I believe, in this.
You highlighted that the nutritional information is mentioned behind the packaged food. So could you just give some quick tips to our listeners how to identify, read properly and understand from all those labels, because nobody takes the pain to turn the packet and read what is written behind it.
Yeah, even I did a survey and I asked many students, how many of you read the label, and they don't read the labels of FMCG products. So reading the label is something like, the first thing is the brand name which is there. Then you will find the manufacturer, who is the manufacturer behind that brand. And then there are the ingredients, that what are the ingredients which have been used in making that particular item. That becomes very important, because if somebody is allergic to something, so they need to be very careful that they should not consume those kind of food. And then there is this expiry date or best before. So one should be very careful that whether it is reaching the very close to the expiry date. Then when you are buying something and you are going to consume it in maybe in a month, so that should not be so close to the expiry date. And then if you are buying something like larger package, sometimes when we go to our like wholesale buying or something, like we buy sometimes for a month, we do some kind of shopping. So in those cases, we need to be very careful about the expiry date and also the MRP and the quantity. That what is the quantity which is put, and there may be FSSAI mark on all the food products. You need to check that quality mark. Green and red dots, like green is showing that it is a vegetarian product and red is non-vegetarian. Now it is mandatory to put the customer care detailing, like it may be an email or a toll-free number which every company needs to put on the package. So these things the consumers need to be very careful.
Before we proceed any further and speak about the World Food India as a whole, I would like to mention that today, under the umbrella of World Food India, the third Global Food Regulators Summit by FSSAI, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, was also organized, and it provided a unique platform to global regulators to deliberate on harmonization of food safety standards and strengthening international regulatory cooperation. Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, J.P. Nadda, while addressing the event, said that FSSAI has served as a regional coordinator for Asia. So let's listen to what he had to say.
FSSAI has emerged as a global leader in food safety and standards, playing a pivotal role on the international stage through the Codex Alimentarius Commission. India, through FSSAI, hosts the Codex Committee on Spices and Culinary Herbs and has developed 14 global standards and serves as the regional coordinator for Asia, promoting street food safety and regional cooperation. India has secured critical Codex support for standards related to millets, cashew, and advanced supplement and functional food standards.
So, Professor Kapoor, we just heard what the minister had to say. So, I would like you to enlighten our listeners about the other food standards which India is following.
So, FSSAI, as it is the national body now looking into food. As I mentioned that earlier, it was the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, but now FSSAI is looking into the entire food sector and regulating it. So the minister has told us that the food which we consume, it has to be, it's not only for our nourishment, but also it is for our well-being. And the main thing for the whole global summit is that the regulators from 90 countries have joined us, and the issues related to from food hygiene to food safety and also inclusiveness and ecosystems which are more favorable for the consumers, they are being discussed by all the stakeholders. So we are having plenary sessions for researchers, the innovators, the food businesses and also policy makers. So it's huge, you can imagine the kind of the discussions which are happening. And as I mentioned that we are one of the the food leaders in many sectors. So India is encouraging through this summit to come and invest here, to do some partnerships, and also to look into that how we are regulating our food sector. And we have given 14 standards, like in millets and other, we have contributed. So with this summit, I believe that this will help us in developing new kind of partnerships and more investments in India.
I would like to bring your attention to one more thing, that the government has pushed a lot and is focusing a lot on Fit India movement and less oil consumption in food. So what are the initiatives that are being taken?
I believe that if you are healthy, so then you can contribute to everything. For nation building, for any kind of workforce, it is required that the workforce is healthy. Eating right, and also fitness campaign by the government, and Prime Minister Modi also mentioned in most of its campaigns, he's telling to reduce oil, because if obesity, we are seeing that many children are becoming obese these days, which was not earlier. So this campaign is basically focused on making the youth, especially children in schools and colleges, to be eating right also. And like FSSAI also has a campaign called Eat Right India. So these campaigns are basically focusing that India will become a developed nation when the consumers or the citizens are healthy. So to make every citizen healthy citizen, intake of food and fitness. So nobody should have any kind of disease in very young stages. Like we are seeing lifestyle diseases such as diabetes, which are onsetting in young children also. These campaigns, I believe that this will help in schools also. So these campaigns, I believe that they will lead towards more healthy India.
In fact, we spoke about the investments in the sector, and while addressing the event, Prime Minister invited investments and collaboration in the sector and opined that there are immense opportunities. So let's first listen to him.
भारत ने खुले मन से अपने देश के दरवाजे दुनिया के लिए खोल रखे हैं। हम फूड चेन से जुड़े हर इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए ओपन है। हम कोलैबोरेशंस के लिए खुले दिल से तैयार हैं। मैं एक बार फिर आप सभी को भारत में सबसे ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए निमंत्रित करता हूं। इस क्षेत्र में बहुत संभावना है, इसका आप फायदा उठाएं।
So there are 4 core focus pillars of World Food India, and one of them is frontiers in food processing products and packaging technologies. This is an area where there's a lot of scope of investment and it can further expand. So could you further elaborate how investments can be taken forward, not just in packaging but all in all?
Because India is a world leader in many items such as in milk production or even millets or fruits, vegetables, and even processed industries such as fruit juices, and even in Bihar is the largest producer of lychees, and Dehradun also. So there are so many opportunities which are there for the investors to do collaborations in India, and packaging is required for selling these processed food and juices and liquids. So PM has invited investment, and this will lead towards more prosperity for India. And the collaborations, I believe that it is an open invitation to all the global investors to do business here, and with the ease of licensing which we have, like FSSAI has a licensing facility and which is there, which is online. So you need not do a lot of paperwork. So this ease of doing business is already there.
Lastly, since we are progressing towards the end of the episode, under WFI, like the World Food India, Ministry of Tourism also organized the 4th edition of World Food India in reviving the culinary treasures of India. In your opinion, how important is food when it comes to connecting the culture?
Yeah, it's very true that we have this book also which our Minister Nadda ji has released, which is the Eat Right Thali. So it is that every regional area of India offers plate which is different. It is a very balanced diet which is there. So every region is offering kind of food which is very tempting, also very nutritious. And why procure everything from outside? So it is like teaching these regional, this thali, which Eat Right Thali, it is showing that we should concentrate on the Indian food. And also it is talking about that eating right from the very beginning is required.
Thank you so much, Professor Kapoor, for sparing your valuable time and joining us for this episode of Spotlight tonight.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Global Food Regulatory Summit 2025. The participants were Professor Sheetal Kapoor, expert on food safety, and Diksha Saxena, Akashvani correspondent.
Spotlight.